Hi there, I'm Alira Riel, and I'm here with my daughters Golduiniel and Nephrline, and they are going to show you how to make elegant elven furniture in vanilla Minecraft version 1.21.4. When this update came out with the new Pale Garden, they experimented with the new blocks in Nephriline's world where she's building an elven city, and they created these designs utilizing both new and previously existing blocks, and they would love to share them with you. In a creative, super flat world, we made ourselves this room to showcase these builds because it just didn't set the right mood with grass as far as the eye could see and with pigs, sheep, and cows spawning all around us. This room, with the lovely pale garden leaves drifting down around us, really gives an elven feel even to this simple room. We hope you'll enjoy these beautiful woodsy elven furniture designs. Let's get started.
First of all, I want to show a design I came up with quite a while ago for a canopy bed. It's quite possible other people could have come up with a design, but I've never seen it, so I thought it would be nice to show it. So I'm using the birch planks for mine, but you could use whatever color scheme you want to use. And I put 4 planks in the corners. And then in between the blocks, I'm going to put some stairs. This will not be a functional bed, it's just a design look pretty bed. So you can't actually sleep in it. And then I really like the clay blocks. They have a really nice, subtle, pretty color. So that's kind of going to be like the sheets and blankets on top. And then I like to do a carpet for a pillow so it looks kind of raised up. And then also for my particular design, put some lichen on it. So it's like a pattern sheet, which I really liked. And then, it's always so fun working with fences. So I believe it's 4 fence posts up. So 1, 2, 3. And because of the ceiling, I apparently need to go over here a little bit to place my 4th one down. Oh good, I can do it from here. That's nice. 4 more. And while I'm up here, I'm just going to move over to the other 2. And do 4 more. And 4 more. And drop down because I don't care. Then fill in with fences all around. And then the interesting part was using banners for the fabric hanging down. One there. So I do a whole row of them at the top and then bring them down on each fence post on the side. So it looks like the curtains are pulled off to the side. And on these ends I do that too. Not there. There. Yeah, I'll need that one eventually. Ah, not that. And that is the design. And you can put whatever pattern you want on the actual banners. And I did that on mine where I had a pattern. But in creative, I'm not even sure it's possible to type in a specific pattern of banner you want. So these are just plain white. So that is the canopy bed. So then a big thing that I've wanted to be able to perfect for a while was chairs. I'm sure a lot of people have that. And I had seen other people do the design I'm about to do, which is a scaffolding for the legs. Temporary block. And then there we go. 2 trap doors, and then a banner on it to kind of look like a plush backing to it, and then a carpet to look like a plush seat part, which I do like that design. My biggest problem with this is that you're very much restricted to something that goes with the yellow of the scaffolding. So either the new-ish bamboo doors, I don't think they had those when I first did it, or the birch goes with it. But the birch trapdoors on the back have the handles, so if you're looking at it from the back, I always kind of just still see it as trapdoors, but that could just be me. But then a couple weeks ago, Goldie and I were playing with some of the new 1.21.4 blocks and the Pale Garden update, and we through that came up with some other cool designs. So I will pass it off to Goldie, and she will show you the first of these designs that she came up with.
So yeah, with trying to figure out other bases that were possibilities and to, incorporate the new blocks, I had wondered about using leaves. So putting leaves at the base, that to me I was either thinking looked like there were legs but had like a cloth over the top, like a lace type cloth, or it kind of looked like vines. So with that as the base, and then the new moss as the cushion, and then for the back putting a block and then trapdoor like that, and then it gives the cute new vine detail on the back. That's cute, but Neffy and I were also talking about the handle on there. I don't know, it doesn't really look the best, so then I had the idea, wonder if you could do it opposite and hide it in amongst the vines. So I played around with how to do that, and the easiest way is to put a block there and there, put your trap door, put it so then it's upside down, then you easily remove those blocks, and voila, you have it nicely hidden. So it's just a nice white back, nice subtle white back. So a cute little chair. And then for a taller chair like the one that Neffy just did, okay, going up a little, kind of doing what I did before, only up higher, and go down, go out, another trapdoor at the bottom, and having like that. So the vines are interesting because you can do either a small vine that just takes up the one block space, but we'd like to be able to take it up higher. So you have to, as far as we know, take it out, put it down until, and it actually cooperated until you get a taller one. So there you go. And then because I did the top trapdoor also upside down, very nicely, it blocks the handle of that one in the vines as well.
So that was really nice for a gray, green, white design of chair, white color scheme. But we started to wonder, could we do something similar in a brownish color scheme? Because most furniture is made out of wood and typically brown. And so we were trying to think of something kind of leaf-like, and suddenly I thought, oh, there's the mangrove roots, which I had gone out and gathered when that update came out and didn't really think I'd ever use for anything. So that color scheme looked really nice with dark oak. So placing 2 trapdoors, and then I really like these new pale moss carpets, and the pattern they create on a darker background is very pretty. So that is the design that I actually chose to use in my build I'm working on in my world. And that's really nice because it looks like the legs of a wooden chair, But also in Elvish lore, they would most likely use natural things from around them. So it's cool to think that instead of perfectly straight 4 legs a chair is on, like they used some fallen branches or things like that to create a cool, more natural design that then they built the rest of the chair on top of. So that is that design. And then Goldie came up with another design for a chair, which opened up some other thoughts and possibilities. So I will pass it back to her.
And back to you, Bob. So going with that cool entwining branch look that Neppy created, I was trying to think of other things that maybe could be used like that as well. And, you know, I had the new blocks and things from the latest update in mind. So I got curious to try something and played around and found that if you use the new sapling, and it has to be on a natural block because it is a growing thing, if you did a little sapling and then put the cushion on top, and once again did the thing with the back of the chair, like that, it looks like it's got a nice winding and twirling little pedestal that's supporting a little mini chair. So I thought that was a cute little design. And with this one, I just left it with just the one trapdoor and just had the little vine design that the cushion creates. And then, along with that, I started to play around with doing bench designs. So I thought that the leaves would look cool, again, with the entwining look, and then putting the cushions on. And it's nice to put the cushions on first because I'm able to do the block and that puts it up higher, and then another block, so then that makes it easier for them being able to do the back. In case anyone was wondering why I'm always doing the cushions first. One there, and one there. Take those out, and there you go. Cute little garden bench.
And then it could also be done in the dark brown color scheme. And that's that one.
So with all the playing around with plant materials and incorporating them into the furniture, I was wondering about what other kinds of furniture you could do. So I started playing around with some items and came up with a table design. Now this table design is going to take a little bit of working because of the game mechanics. So I first did this and then wanted to put the top on it. But then this unfortunate thing happened. I just crushed a little dead bush. So then I was like, well, I know I've seen people make azalea bushes with those as the trunk. So I was trying to figure out, how do they do that? So then I was thinking, well, the only other thing I can think of is to put a block, put the top of the table, take out the block, and then I was really hoping this would work, put the dead bush underneath. And fortunately, it worked. So that's a little cute like end table design that again looks elven with the branches entwining beneath it. And again, because it's a plant, even though it's not living, technically, it needs a natural block beneath it. So for the larger table design, I'm going to go with a circular table. So again, you need to elevate the tabletop. So I'll put that there. And then once those have been placed, you can then put the legs of the table. And that looks cute on its own, but it kind of stands out from the floor with the gray blocks all of a sudden just being in certain places beneath the legs. So we've found that it's cool to either just make a rim all the way around, connecting them so it looks a bit more like it belongs. Or it's also fun to create a rug out of it. Either just filling it in with all of the same moss blocks, or you could create a cool design with some other blocks. I'm choosing to use the warped nylium in this case, but you could use wool, you could use glazed terracotta for different patterns. You really could use whatever you want. And then you have a nice little circular rug beneath it that kind of ties it in. And then it kind of disguises the fact that you need the natural blocks beneath your entwining legs of your table. So there's a nice, larger, circular elven table.
Okay, so then I had done a while back a chaise lounge design. So I will do my original design first, and then I will show a design I came up with the newest update and the pale garden blocks. So at first, I wanted it to be a light color, so I used the birch again, kind of like the canopy bed. And that is using the stairs and then a slab for the middle to connect it. And then I just put a simple white carpet for the cushion part of it. And that was my simple design, which I do still really like. But with the new pale moss carpets, I really like the pattern that they create when they're going up blocks. So again, I really like them against the dark. So I'm going to do it in dark oak. But it's really up to whatever anybody likes and whatever color scheme you personally are going for. And then the pale moss carpets, and they create these pretty little designs on the side that again just give it an extra touch of elegance. So then, playing off of Goldie's end table design, I started playing around with wondering if that could make a pretty railing design, because in my Elven build, I used the iron bars, and they kind of just look like iron bars. So I really wanted something prettier and more elegant for railing, but that was just kind of my placeholder until we could come up with something else. So I was able to come up with a couple of designs. First one, again, does require the natural block, which would be dirt or moss or something like that for the plant to grow in. And then doing, oh, that's right, Goldie showed us that I can't put the railing on top of the dead bush or it'll go away. So put a block, the railing, and you could use any trapdoor or anything you want, but just for the sake of difference, I am going to use the weathered copper trapdoor because it is kind of a nice greenish natural look, and the brownish part of it kind of ties into the brownish of the bush, so that's what I'm going to show for now. Then once you have a trapdoor, you could just link the other ones to that without having to do a block, and then put your bushes. And so that's one Elven railing design. And then also I really liked the pale hanging moss and was trying to figure out how to utilize that. And that doesn't matter what block is beneath it. So for the sake of demonstration, I will show it just on the quartz block that we already have. And again, you could use whichever trapdoor you like, but I'm just doing it with the dark oak because I like not only the color, but also the pattern of it. And, oh goodness. Well, fortunately, I'm in creative, so I can go over here. Put pale hanging moss. And then, to just add some interest, I would then put a singular iron bar in between and kind of rotate between those. And the reason I put the iron bars in between is because if you just do the hanging moss, it doesn't quite touch the ground, so it kind of makes the railing look like it's just hovering all across it. So when I put the iron bars in, that at least gave it some extra support to look like it's actually a functioning railing instead of just floating there. And so that's another design. But then, as we were setting up to film this video, Goldie came up with another design.
So I was looking around in our blocks while we were getting ready for the video, and I saw the dead coral blocks, and I was thinking they looked kind of similar to what Neffy had already done with the hanging moss. Those are a little tricky because they have to actually hang from a block, and I was thinking that's kind of nice that the dead coral you can just place on a block and it doesn't have to be any kind of specific block. It doesn't even need to be on water because it's already dead, so that's cool. So I thought I'd give that a try. And both Neffy and I thought that this looked like a cool design as well. So the corals for the filigree part, and then we put light gray carpets on top to give more of the railing look. So that's another design for an elvish railing. And since discovering this use for the coral, those could also be nice to use as chair bases and table legs as well.
So as a little added bonus, because I guess it's not technically furniture, we're going to show some window designs, because ever since I saw the clips for the hanging moss, one of my first thoughts was that would be really pretty as like a filigree kind of window. And I was really hoping that they could be placed on any kind of block and that it didn't have to just be wood or leaves or something like that. So as I was watching the preview for it, it looked like it was placed on things like planks and stone and stuff like that. And sure enough, it can be placed on any block. So one of the first things I did in my Elven build in my world was place it in some open windows I had. And they looked very similar to this. And especially I like the diagonal one because you can really see the pretty scroll design of it. But I just think that adds a little extra character to add some filigree designs to the windows.
And while playing around with the new blocks, I came up with a shelf design that's pretty cute. If you put carpet below, then you can actually stack the moss carpets and create little mini wall shelves. And you can even do a longer shelf. And stacked shelves and another long one above it. And that's kind of cool with that longer bit in the middle, actually.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you like these designs as much as we do, and will be able to use them in your future Elven Minecraft builds. Maybe you could even incorporate them into your past Elven Minecraft builds. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and like and subscribe if you aren't already. That would really help my channel to be able to reach more people. We hope you'll have a fantastic day or night. Bye for now.